I intend to spend every dime of my life on this. With Bitcoin, I will amass a fortune of $1 billion. Seriously, that's my aim. $1 billion is my goal. I will deploy every dime back into mending this train wreck we have. And it is the sole justification for my desire to amass wealth from this. In that case, I would remain silent. Well, my approach is this: I step into a room and immediately think, hey buddy, let's go, a greater amount is what I desire. I long to be more actively engaged. The more people I meet, the better. Because it's thrilling for me. Makes it sound like it's enjoyable. Sports aren't my thing. I prefer not to bet. Dude, I don't even have to visit a casino if I want to gamble. Even if I win $40,000 at the casino, I still have to wait in queue for 12 minutes before I can touch my winnings. Do this continuously with cryptocurrency. I refuse to stand in front of a fence for a picture op. However, freedom, if we simply define it as not free. Alright, I guess it means I have to be unpopular. My twin, who is known to say whatever he wants, is added to the list of persons who hate mail me. According to them, half of the population confuses me for him. I mean, these folks are absolutely vicious. Okay, I see. You are simply required to tolerate it. I see. I have researched Bitcoin for 5, 6, and 7 years, and I haven't found anything. When I consider Bitcoin alongside the 35 years of experience in the payment business, mergers and acquisitions, real estate, and energy, I am completely convinced. One Venture CEO Gary Cardone has stated his intention to invest in Bitcoin for the remainder of his life with the lofty aim of amassing over $1 billion. After that, he plans to put all of his money back into solving social problems. An admirable goal. I don't understand why he thinks his Bitcoin allocation will bring him success. His reasoning for this is laid forth in a recent interview. You mentioned that several of your acquaintances had left college, begun their careers, and had certain ambitions for themselves. In my opinion, they should aim to be free. That's the correct response. Not at all. My life goals include becoming a doctor and owning a house. All you have to do is return to fundamental values and I'll give you $200 million. Okay. So you can work as a drug dealer, a prostitute, or a weapons dealer. It is possible to be extremely disruptive, unproductive, and critical of society on social media. Many activities can be done to earn money without spending a dime. We aim to be free, all right? The next question is, what does that mean? Because I don't believe anyone can provide a concrete definition of freedom. I feel like I have a solid definition now, but it's still rather pessimistic. The other half is negative. Being able to say fuck it is half of my idea of independence. That won't happen on my watch. We had to sell it for half its value because we couldn't get ourselves together. It was my previous business and it was probably worth $800 million. However, such outcomes are commonplace as individuals' priorities shift. When you and your business partner start generating a lot of money together, you might think, oh, my partner isn't really in it for the money, they're in it for the trophies. I'm in it for the money. Maybe you'd like to take your chips off the table and find another table. For the simple reason that I am bored by business. If I ever get the hang of a game, I'm like, okay, I really don't want to play this for the next 40 years kind of guy. I am not going to get any knowledge. Because of that, I am free. Now that I'm 41 years old, I've been with the same employer for 17 years. I was informed by the company's CEO that they will earn $1 billion in cash the next year. I felt compelled to sell all my stocks immediately following the phone conversation. I couldn't help but think that we would have to get into the heroin business if we wanted to make $1 billion. Plus, I'm not going to do that. I told him, dude, your pivots are too heavy since they weren't going to have either. That firm made me feel restricted, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I won't talk about the $7 million I was making every year. I understand. I'm simply letting you know that. I have a limo driver and that I reside on 7 acres in the countryside of England, right on the banks of a pristine river, the same one that the British despised because it belonged to an American in a 400-year-old house. Tony Schechter, the race car driver, lived in my neighborhood. They were unhappy with all the changes, weren't they? Hey, look, I'm experiencing headaches all the time. I sit there and think, I possess a trifecta of telephones. The sound echoes off the wall. Overseeing a workforce of 600 individuals. The market isn't exciting anymore. I've taken all the money I can get out of it, and now I'm starting to feel bored. Now, you can't just give up, I'm thinking as I sit here. So obviously no one leaves a job after 22 years. I don't understand. Why do I feel the need to become completely reliant on the first sector I dabbled in? I knew it was worse to quit that sector than to remain, so I called my boss and said, 6 months, dude. You got 6 months all that was holding me there, besides the money. It was my ego. And money is just money after all. I understand. Thinking about money is really just a matter of vanity. I understand. Because, there isn't really much more I have to do. I mean, I could own a fleet of expensive yachts. For $500, I lease not one but 2 jet skis. I am not in need of purchasing jet skis. Even though I make my home on the water, I have no intention of using a fleet of jets. I won't be using them on a daily basis. My independence is in the ability to say no when I've had enough. Having the confidence to suggest, sure, let's go to Turkey tomorrow morning the way I want to go to Turkey is also important. Yes, I would want to go fishing for $20 instead of having a $400 supper. I mean, who cares? However, I am free to express my opinions unequivocally. To the extreme guy, I will save you the details of the cost. Price is very naive in my opinion. Much of my wealth is in Bitcoin. I must have additional Bitcoin tomorrow compared to what I have today. I am completely absorbed in that at the moment. I understand more Bitcoin is required. The asking price of 35,000 is irrelevant to me. What does it mean for me? I will be affected. I'm going to sell everything once I get a little nervous. All the rest are in fiat. I will absolutely crush it. Quickly, I will sell this place. The ticket only goes in one direction. As for the exact start time of the celebration, I just do not know. Because there are so many strange individuals with really low priced Bitcoin, I believe the journey will remain turbulent. I don't think they've fully embraced the actual world, but I would be open to meeting any and all of them if they were weird. I'm not trying to hurt their feelings, but I refuse to sell my Bitcoin despite what some people have said. In my opinion, I can convince them of that in about 15 minutes. You don't want to sell your Bitcoin? That's not cool. What we desire is to compete with these individuals. My friend, I would need $1 million. Contact me, for example, if you possess $400 million. I understand. I will demonstrate to you how we may radically alter things. These folks have a ton of cash on hand. My usual procedure involves boarding a private jet with a few others, including Kathy Woods, and then we head to Washington. When we speak, everyone will hear. I understand. A few politicians are doing things we disagree with, so let's give them some money. Keep your gaze fixed on the adversary. I understand. The enemy is playing us like fools. If we do nothing, I intend to remain a developing nation without air conditioning or 2G while I clutch onto my Bitcoin. No need to bother me. I mean, come on, you've got $400 million sitting there doing nothing? That's not helping civilization? Progress. You are not going to do it. Oh, I see. Very nice. A wonderful spot to go would be El Salvador. That is an excellent experiment, in my opinion. But hey, why don't we just uproot and travel to Turkey? Cryptocurrency is critical for Turkey. In my opinion, Turkey will attend. I have been predicting for the past year and a half that Turkey will include Bitcoin in its financial statements. Why? Because he's in a bad spot. Storm Alley is where he is. The energy from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East is what he needs, even though he's NATO's little homosexual. In reality, he isn't doing it. He's in the most peculiar spot, isn't he? He feels trapped from every direction. The UK is in a similar situation to him. It will only take a couple of bright minds, and last year we predicted who would be running for office. This guy and I were just chatting at the RNC. We need a group of 30-somethings, I told you. I'm 60, you're 60. We should elect the 30-year-olds to office and then take on the role of their leader. Our best bet is to act as a